new laser update. A better way to find maps. No way, we have a new laser update. Yo.
Searching for a map is pretty old-fashioned. There is no map recommendation algorithm. You can just sort and filter through thousands of maps with what you see here, and today's laser update adds what might be the strongest filtering option yet: beatmap tags chosen by players. If you get at least a C rank on a map, you can go here on the results screen to set tags, either by voting for already existing tags or adding new ones.
This is something that people have been requesting for a long time, and probably comes at a good time because the user-run site OMDB, which was a database for tags, went down. So we're taking over the reins, I guess. Thankfully, they have provided a full export of their database, and included in that database is a good list of preset tags and user data of all the votes for those tags. And because they were using the Oz API, we can actually import all the votes that people made.
Whoa!
So that's really cool.
Wait, that is so cool.
Add more tags as people come up with them, but the import from OMDB is already pretty exhaustive. Has things like skill set tags, meta tags for things like custom.
Wait, that's fucking awesome. They don't have to start from scratch.
All the weird things that people would like to be able to search on. There's no tag specifications for other rule sets yet, so that's something we'll be...
Wait, go back. Space streams, cut streams, 2B slider only, finger controlled burst stream, stamina, geometric, freeform symmetrical, clean, ninja spinners, jump aim, sharp aim, wide aim, linear aim, aim control, flow aim. Dude, this is what I do in my own, like I have like aim control, finger control, I have flow aim, high spacing, I have jumpy obtuse. This changes everything.
Specifications for other rule sets yet, so that's something we'll be working on over the coming weeks. There's already an internal push by Hippie to make that happen.
So yeah, go play some maps, choose some tags, and search for those tags to find maps you actually want to play.
Oh, I was just having a conversation with someone the other day on how hard it is to find a specific kind of map that you want to keep playing. Like you found one map that you really like, it has this specific kind of pattern that plays out in a certain way, and you want more of that but with different songs. You have to like try and look at the mapper, and then you have to like try and find maps, but that doesn't like through that mapper, but that doesn't guarantee that all of that mapper's maps have that same specific ideology of a pattern in there that you really want to practice or find fun or anything, right? Now the entire community can just go ahead and mark that shit out. It takes out all of that guesswork. Holy shit.
This is a controversial one. I asked Necodex to add sound effects for star fountains, kind of just looking to give the game a bit more
I saw the Raptors clip.
I'm trying to think of a better word. Yeah, I heard explosion, water cannons. Some guy reported that there was just like buzzing, and then he came back and was like, oh, my speakers were actually destroyed at a hardware level, and this made it obvious that there was an issue. Because not everyone was on board with these new sound effects. Now they only trigger on the Argon skins. If you're using a classic skin, it won't trigger anymore. Unless you wanted to, you can...
Wait, that's what the normal one sounds like. What?
Using a classic skin, it won't trigger anymore.
That's what the normal one sounds like? I thought that was just a hit sound, right?
Unless you wanted to, you can still skin Fountain-Star or Star-Fountain is the file name. You can still skin it yourself. There are some certain beatmaps which trigger KI time at a very rapid pulsing rate. We have fixed that in this release.
That is fucking hilarious, dude.
Less often and splitting the sound effect into
fucking rapid fire.
The initial explosion sound and the ongoing background fuzz is separated.
No, wait, the rapid fire is fucking hilarious, though.
For an App Store release, the mobile version of the game has been slowly improving. Last update, we saw a couple really important changes: larger mobile-specific UI scaling and Mania playfield rotation, both of which were partially reconsidered in this update. Starting with the larger interface stuff.
Unfortunately, it also affected Taiko gameplay in an unexpected way, making the playfield a lot more zoomed in than expected. You couldn't see as many hit objects on screen on mobile anymore, so that's been fixed in this release. I guess in a similar vein, the way Osmania works on mobile, that was met with mixed reception. All the people that wanted it to be in the new way we had were very happy, but the majority was like, we were used to the old way you had it, please bring it back.
Right,
this
yeah,
is the
make it
third time we've
toggleable.
made changes to the way Mania works on mobile. So my directive to Frenzy was like, okay, let's just make a
Yeah.
drop-down list
Yeah,
with all
that's probably
three
the best.
methods, and the user can choose which one they want. And that's what we've got in this release.
Like that Mania one, Lemon, is like pretty close to like a Project Sekai type experience, right? It doesn't have the perspective though. It doesn't have the same perspective, but it's similar.
Impressed by
It
how
is
many
similar.
significant editor changes have been part of every update since the whole editor sucks situation. Going off today's changes, some of these are simple, like moving the preview point on the lower timeline so that it's always visible, and larger grid spacing for those who want to map, basically, without a grid.
Oh,
Other changes are a bit more subtle, things that you wouldn't immediately pick up on but make a tangible difference while mapping, like how sliders previously couldn't be selected as freely as circles,
oh, but yeah, that
the
seems
way
terrible.
soon-to-be placed objects now appear in the timeline, and how scrolling to zoom on the timeline now zooms to this point instead of the clicky cursor.
By
That is
zooming to the
good.
cursor, it means that it changes the current time, and I don't think people want that.
No.
And of course, a few changes are made to the editor to match the stable build of OS, like the limit of 8 combo colors, the Control L hotkey to reload a map without saving, and finally the return of right click for enabling new combos and partially for deleting objects.
A basic summary is that we have context menus in Lazer, so we kind of want to reserve the right mouse button for context menus appearing. And historically, the stable editor has right-click overloads for other stuff like deleting a new combo. So adding this back was a bit of a challenge, getting the input handling right. Which is to say, if you're in select mode, this won't work. You can still use Shift right-click to do a deletion there, but otherwise, if you right-click, it's going to bring up the context menu and give you more options.
You already know what old mappers are going to say about this. They want to right click to delete in every circumstance.
OC tablet
Global
spotted.
setting, disable context menus in the game.
Speaking of stables features, holding Alt and scrolling with the mouse wheel works to change volume on the results screen now. You can expect that to be everywhere at some point. And the game's window title once again matches metadata for whatever map you're playing.
To me, it kind of changes the game. I found this pretty notable as a change, even though it seems like a meh change. If you run the game in windowed mode, it's something which you don't notice that you noticed until it's gone.
Leaderboards have also been slightly redesigned, which... Okay, I know what you're thinking. This change is useless. Song Select as a whole needs a redesign. So it's a good thing that redesign is almost here.
Flight shared a design publicly for feedback, and he was kind of overwhelmed by the amount of feedback he got. Very helpful people in the community that made their own amended designs on Song Select. I feel like that's the easiest way for us to take feedback is
I've seen a lot of people say this, and I agree. This slanting in is not it. Just make it straight. That's all you gotta do.
to get it in visual form, and it was very helpful. We've applied a lot of the feedback that the community provided us. We're doing some more iterations of it internally, and Frenzy and
This part right here is so fucking good too.
myself are working on making that
Like, just imagine not having to type like star more than less than equal like no more of that.
song select come through to fruition. So I hope to see that in, let's say, the next release. I've got no other focus on my list other than making that happen.
Good luck changing the logo in the bottom right. That did not go well last time.
No. Oh. Oh. Oh no.
Yeah, and in the latest internal design, I'm not sure if you saw it, but Flight was like, I am adamant that the cookie is going to go here. I'm like, that's cool, but we're not putting it there for now. That can be done in the future. Like, I want to minimize the amount of changes we're throwing in the user's faces so that the user is happy to accept what we are doing.
I
The good
understand
parts
that,
of
yes.
what we're doing, right?
We
That's fine.
introduced teams last update, and they've been expanded on in this update with the in-game team chat channel, plus the team leaderboard. And unrelated to basically everything, there's a new setting for tablet click sensitivity. The higher this number, the more pressure on your pen you need to click. There's a lot
Oh.
of very niche potential use cases for this, but it was mainly made for people with broken tablets, so if that's you, you're welcome, I guess.
Oh.
last week, we hit a breaking point where Lazer's equivalent of Bancho was struggling to keep up with the number of users connected, and we were only at like 3,200 users on Lazer, which is pretty high. We're currently at 22% of all users are on Lazer, but anyway, the server was struggling, and the reason for that was that until now we've been sending information, metadata about anyone starting playing a beatmap and ending playing a beatmap, and that was being sent to every other user, so it was like exponential growth of the amount of traffic we were sending, and we got to a breaking point, so we were forced to fix it on the weekend. That was very good fun, and it's cool to see Lazer gradually gaining traction in the community. Feels like we're doing things correctly because that's happening.
What percentage of the user base is on Lazer now versus when PP was announced last year?
Do you know how far back that was?
It was 14 months.
I think Datadog goes back 12 or 16. Oh, it does go back further. So we were at 10% a year ago. That's lower than I remember, but okay. Then we jumped up to like 13, 14% in July, then 16% in October. And now we're at like, 19, 20, above 20 on a good day. And I mean, we know how we can improve this. We just need to turn on DT rate PP calculations.
I have my own thoughts about that. That clip's probably gonna come out after this video though. I have my own thoughts on that. That's already a clip. Hey, if you're watching this on the Clips channel, subscribe and like this video so you can see that how Osu really should handle rate change.